Good afternoon. I'm Westchester County Executive Ken Jenkins, and today is Wednesday, February 18th, and this is This Week in Westchester, the briefing. We wanted to start off with some things that have been going on and around. I know that there were so many people that have seen what happened over the weekend down in Bay Plaza in New York City, and there was a potential of a lot of takeover events that were in social media. So the Department of Public Safety and its Real-Time Crime Intelligence Center are monitoring the social media activity and working with all of our local municipal law enforcement partners, not only to discourage the so-called teenager takeovers of some retail venues and other public spaces, but we're also trying to bring awareness to parents and guardians as well to make sure that they are relating information to their young folks as these things continue on. In New York City, there were approximately 18 teenagers arrested for the activity that happened in Bay Plaza, and we certainly do not want that to happen to any of our teenagers enjoying themselves during this holiday week. And we're reminding people that they should be able to let us know things that are going on. So the department's patrol officers for our Department of Public Safety are prepared to respond and assist any municipality if needed in the event of a disruptive takeover occurs. And again, we're asking teens to take our advice about these takeovers. Do not participate in this type of activity. You can get hurt, other people can get hurt, and you could be subject to arrest. Again, talking to parents and guardians to remind themselves to speak with their children and advise them to ignore these dangerous challenges, and then come up from time to time on the social media platforms and ask them not to participate in those things. Again, the county and local police are aware of social media posts identifying various locations in Westchester as potential sites for a takeover, and Commissioner Raynor urged the public to share any information they have about those potential takeovers online or from the phone call. So we have a tip line that's 800-898-TIPS, which is 800-898-8477. You can send an email and text message and send video clips to tips at WCCOPS.com. So tips at WCCOPS.com, and on the mobile app. So if you download the mobile app from your Android, Google Play Store, or from the iOS App Store, you can get the official Westchester County Department of Public Safety mobile app that contains the home screen to submit a tip and to be able to send those pieces of information electronically, confidentially, and anonymously. So again, enter Westchester County PD in those app stores and search bar and locate the official Westchester County Police Department Public Safety app. This week we had the announcement of some very, very exciting news. Our Westchester County Board of Legislators, at this point in time for this particular effort, led by legislator Erica Lang Pierce, who was the chair of environment. I'm not sure which she's the chair of right now, but she'll let us know when she comes up, because there's been changes again in the Board of Legislators as they're moving forward in a new term, and certainly we're going to have some conversations today. So yesterday we released that comprehensive waste reduction study and findings that confirm the county is leading when it comes to waste reduction. So we're going to have a bunch of folks talk about this because it was led out of the Department of Environmental Facilities with Commissioner Vince Capicchi, the Department of Environmental Facilities First Deputy Commissioner Lou Vitrone, our county legislators, both Erica Lang Pierce and Nancy Barr will come up and share their thoughts about this. And our Director of Energy Conservation and Sustainability, Pete McCart, will also come up and talk through that. And we're also going to be joined here on stage with Marvin Church, who's the Assistant Executive Director of Environmental Leaders of Color of Comrie Enterprises, LLC, and Susie Ross, who is the chair of the Ossining Climate Reality Project, the Westchester chapter co-chair. So at this time, let's ask everyone to come up and join us as we're talking through this waste reduction study. And again, we have to continue to give that shout out to our Westchester County Board of Legislators for putting in the investment in funds. Come on closer, come closer, right? And be able to do this with Barton and Lugudis that conducted this study, had tremendous input. So with that, let's turn over first to our Commissioner Vince Kapicki, who will bring up Lou Vitrone, and then we'll follow up with our legislators.
Thank you very much. Yes, this was a study that was done by Barton and Lugudis in conjunction working with First Deputy Commissioner Lou Vitrone and Melissa Rotini. Westchester County already boasts a 50% waste reduction rate, recycling rate. However, this study actually will enhance, our programs. In fact, a lot of the programs, a lot of the recommendations that were made in the study, we are actually already performing. However, now we will to enhance them. So we're always looking to improve our recycling rate, and this study again is just to help us along that trail. Thank you.
Thank you, County Executive Jenkins, Deputy County Executive McDonald, and also Director of Operations Emily Saltzman for your support and your leadership, not just on the waste reduction study, but on all the environmental initiatives that we work on at DEF. I also want to thank Melissa Rotini and the DEF Recycling Office team. They worked unbelievably hard on this study with Barton and Lugudis. Barton and Lugudis, I should also add, put a team together that featured staff that were zero waste certified in zero waste principles. So we were looking for that when we were looking for a consultant to work with on this plan as well. We're so proud at DEF on what the county's been able to accomplish so far. Over the past 2 decades, we've reduced residential waste in Westchester County by 27%. That is over 140,000 tons of waste every year, extra tons, that are diverted out of the waste stream. But we want to do better. And that's why we're excited about this study. That's why I'd like to thank Legislator Pierce for putting that in the refuse district budget. This study is going to operate as our roadmap for the next 10 years going forward to continue on this path of waste reduction and to continue to be a recognized leader in waste reduction. We worked with Barton and Lugudis to gather data through a variety of sources that included public surveys, listening sessions, as well as meeting with various environmental groups throughout the county. The study details 10 recommendations for the county to achieve the lofty goal set by New York State in the state's waste reduction, in the state's solid waste management plan of 85% diversion from the waste stream by the year 2050. And the recommendations vary in scope from initiatives like the commissioner was saying that we're doing and we can enhance right now, like working with apartment buildings and multifamily dwellings to assist them in meeting their recycling requirements under the county law, and also some that are much larger in scope and that are going to require state action. And that's going to be, for instance, addressing all of the packaging waste that is increasingly ending up in our waste stream. And that's going to require legislation on the state level, and we're working on that as well. We're working with our state partners on that. So going forward, DEF's going to take these recommendations that were that come out of this study. We're going to put together an implementation schedule that's going to be incorporated into our own local solid waste management plan. That local plan gets reviewed and approved by New York State DEC, and that is going to be the roadmap for going ahead in the future. And I can tell you on behalf of DEF that we can't wait to get started. Thanks.
All right, well, thank you. I also want to note that when this funding went into the budget, Catherine Borgia, who's with us in the room, was a key part of the effort to make certain that the funding was there for that study, because none of us on the Board of Legislators do anything alone. As we don't in Westchester County, talk about a fantastic team of partners. And as a county, Westchester knows that one of the best investments we can make in our future is a move towards zero waste, especially for the health and well-being of our environmental justice communities. We also know, disposing of waste can be expensive because we pay for it, especially the cost of trucking heavy wet waste long distances. So efforts in this direction also bring the opportunity for financial relief, as well as improved air quality and other benefits. So a double win all the way around. And that is why in 2024, as part of the 25 budget process, the Board of Legislators included an initiative to help us as a county understand and best prioritize efforts to move our county ever more forward towards zero waste. The study detailed some of the big steps we've already taken, including my single-use foodware law upon request, our expanded polystyrene waste reduction laws and other laws, in addition to the critical investments we've made in recycling, including for items like textiles and our incredible recycling education, all achievements which DEF should be incredibly proud of. It also mentions another study Westchester procured, a study on food waste recycling in 2020. And it is my hope that these two documents together will help greenlight a bright green path for our future efforts. Towards the back half of this study, you'll find case studies really helpful, highlighting what Westchester should be taking away from WINS and other communities, including exploring county-wide curbside organics collection, creating small-scale decentralized composting hubs at transfer stations, both of which would build on our existing Roofstad program, providing grants potentially for infrastructure development, for example, trucks for organic waste pickup or composting facilities, and are providing technical expertise to municipalities, which we already do and can certainly expand upon. It talks about enhanced enforcement, another tool that we can have in our arsenal. And finally, citing a regional composting facility, an item we are already, Westchester County, looking into and for which we eagerly await the results of yet another study. So now that this report is here, we look forward to taking it up in our environmental committee. So I am currently the chair of Parks and Environment, and so that answers a question of the county executive earlier, and exploring these many options. And in the meantime, I really want to encourage everyone to visit our Compost Ed facility. Not only does it show how easy it is for us all to compost, but also how little space a community might need in order to get their own program going. So thank you again to the county and to our amazing partners at DEF for continuing to prioritize our county's health and well-being, including the health and well-being of our environmental justice communities, and for committing to not only celebrate our current achievements, which are fantastic, but also to taking the hard work to building the path to an ever brighter future for Westchester County in 2050 and beyond. So thank you so much.
Hello. Hi. This is an exciting day because it does show that when the legislature works together with the county executive and the county executive's team, as well as other organizations, there's so much that can be accomplished, and it's really exciting that today we have the next step in the ever moving forward chain of green initiatives that this county has been able to do. And I will say that when I joined the board 8.5 years ago, there was a lot of low-hanging fruit. So there were some easy pickings at the beginning to make strides. But we've gotten to the point where we really need to dig in and dive a little deeper and into our pockets, but also into our efforts to really get the word out to people and to take the next steps forward. And that's what this study helps us do. So thank you so much, county executive's team, DEF, and my colleague Erica Pierce for moving us forward.
Thank you. It's kind of been all said, but I also wanted to say thank you to the county executive and deputy county executive and our director of operations, as well as the DEF team, who are just doing an amazing job. I'd say almost every 6 months, you're coming up with some sort of new program or new initiative or something, and it's just awesome. The findings of this study have proven that Westchester is on the right track. The conscientious residents, all of our friends and neighbors and us, we do an admirable job with the collecting and cleaning and sorting of our various materials that can be recycled, but we can all do better and do more, and I think we will. Education and awareness of the many programs at our disposal are key components to move us forward to our goals, and I think it's important. But thank you very much. Oh, I'd like to thank these guys for showing up here too. They're very supportive of us and a lot of different things we do. Thank you, Marvin, and thank you, Susie.
Thanks, legislators. All right, so again, first, it is an exciting opportunity. Again, when the legislators and being a recovering legislator, you should know that for us understanding the things that the legislators are advancing and pushing forward with, it was environment at one time, now it's parks and environment. It's all the same piece, by the way. It actually makes a lot of sense to do it that way, and there's no one more of an advocate for both our parks and the environment, and Legislator Erica Lang-Pierce, and certainly Nancy Bard's done some tremendous work as well. Shout out again to our colleague and former legislator, former chair of the board, Captain Borgia, who was here with us in a different role, but certainly I'm talking about so many things that are happening right now. But again, the DEF team, Lou Vitrone, who when I was on the Board of Legislators and was talking about adding on, and we added on the recycling that we can do. We went from, these numbers, and it was number 4, and then we got to 5, 6, 7, 8, and all those kind of things. And I was one of the bad people that used to make sure to recycle, but didn't clean out the peanut butter jars as well as I needed to do, right? So Lou was actually able to point that out to me when I was chair of government operations and remind us all that it's not just making sure you put the right things in the recycle, but you also need to make sure that you clean them all, especially the peanut butter one. I always thought that everyone loved peanut butter no matter where it is, but the machines don't like it that much, right? But the reality is that under leadership of Commissioner Kopicki and certainly with Lou Vitrone, our first deputy there's been so many great things that have happened, and as was pointed out by both of our legislators, that the challenge, again, continues to be staying ahead of that. And we do so many things in Westchester, partnering with our local municipalities, curbside food scrap recycling, making sure the tipping fee is the same, all these things that from a municipal official's perspective and from constituents at the end of the day, from a financial perspective and tax charges and things that have happened. DEF has done a tremendous job, and whether it's at Composted, at the HMRF, you'll be able to see those things going on there where we have some examples and demonstration projects where people can see what it means when you get food scrap recycling happening and composting that happens, and all of us can come in and actually they can go in up to and call and bring their own bag and be able to bag up to be able to take that good compost and be able to get some more great things that are happening in Westchester. And because of that leadership, Commissioner Kopicki, First Deputy Commissioner Lou Vitrone, and all the partners, and whether it's environmental leaders of color or our Austin Green team to do that kind of things. There's so many people doing so many things, and you have to continue to be on. It's great that Westchester's a leader, and we are. We continue to be ahead of the curve, but the only way that we stay ahead of the curve is by continuing to make investments and make changes. So again, congratulations to everyone. The full report, you could read the whole report. Click online, it's online, and you'll be able to see that from there. And I know Parks and Environment will be having additional meetings to deep dive and have the commissioner and the team in front of them to be able to do these things moving forward. So again, congratulations to all. Peter McCart working in the back, making sure that from an environment and sustainability, all those pieces are coming together to be able to do this great work. So again, congratulations to all in this particular milestone as far as the waste reduction study. We all strive for zero waste. We know that that's kind of impossible as long as we still have food and we're eating and we're buying stuff from Amazon. So you can stop all those and we can eliminate waste, but that might be a different set of problems that Commissioner Amlin might come in and talk to us about, right? All right, so we're going to switch gears right now, and we're going to ask our My Sister's Place Senior Director of Social Transformation, Reverend Kimberly McNair, to come up and join us, and she's going to talk with us because we have observance of National Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. My Sister's Place Senior Director of Social Transformation, Kimberly McNair, is here to discuss the organization's Teen Education and Violence Prevention Program. And as we observe this month, the message is clear. Education is prevention. By engaging our teens early, empowering them with knowledge, creating safe spaces for conversation, we can help break cycles of abuse and foster healthier futures for our young people across Westchester County. And with that, let me turn it over to Kim McNair.
I actually don't have to say anything now because he said everything. No, but thank you, County Executive, and thank you all for the opportunity to speak about My Sister's Place. We are coming up on our 50th anniversary, and I'm delighted to talk about one of the programs that has been one of our longest running programs and initiatives, and that's our education and prevention programs. And within that team are 3 different programs where we educate young people across Westchester. So I'll start with our oldest, which is our Domestic Violence Education and Prevention Program. We call it DVEP for short. And this program goes into middle schools and high schools to talk to young people about many of the things that maybe your parents didn't talk to you about when you were coming up. They didn't know how to talk to you about it. And so we talk to young people about consent and healthy relationships, red flags, green flags, what to look for, when they can say that they have a right not to be with someone, not to pick up the phone. We want to give young people a sense of the power that's already within them. And we also have our Giant Steps Through Athletics program, and that is a program that is supported by the New York Giants organization. And this is to help student athletes, middle school and high school student athletes, get a sense of their influence and power so they can be advocates for healthy relationships on and off the field. And then our final program is our Children and Youth for Safer Communities. That program has a youth council and a coordinated community response team of adults and 20-somethings who work with our young people to advise them. And in fact, in that program, that's a reverse of our other 2 programs. So instead of going into the schools, we invite the young people into our office to tell us how we're supposed to support them. The best way to understand an issue is to talk to the people who are at the center of the issue. And so we want to listen to young people and get their guidance, because our young people-ness is so far behind us that we may have forgotten what it's like to be a young person. And so they're there to remind us. So again, just reach out to us at mysistersplaceny.org. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about our very important programs. And I'm wearing orange because orange is the color of Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. So if you get a chance, take a picture, tag us on Instagram, show your support. Orange, orange, orange. Thank you.
And that was Kimberly McNair, that from My Sister's Place, who was able to give us, again, that important information, because, again, awareness is, in education, is that opportunity as the Senior Director of Social Transformation. And again, that's how we make a difference, is by making people aware. And I apologize, I didn't have my orange on. I'll figure out something later on, right? I get the orange band for the watch in a few minutes. But more importantly, the continued awareness and being able to do that with My Sister's Place, in a fantastic program that continues to go on. Our Office for Women being able to continue to do that work. The team is here that continues to focus on that, and making sure that we are making more people aware. And again, that partnership, as Reverend McNair talked about with the New York Giants, has been a tremendous one with My Sister's Place for many years. And again, we have to continue to raise that awareness. So with that, thank you so much for Teen Violence Prevention Month. With that, at this time, I'm going to ask our Deputy County Executive, Joe McDonald, to join us, talk about some great economic development activity that we have going on. Turn over that. Joe McDonald.
Thanks, County Executive, and I'd like to ask Deb Novick and John Lynn to come up and join me as well. Today, we're pleased to welcome Deb Novick, who's our Director of Entrepreneurship and Innovation for the Westchester County Office of Economic Development. Deb plays a key role in driving innovation and supporting startups across Westchester County, helping to build an ecosystem where entrepreneurs can launch, grow, and scale their businesses right here in Westchester County. Many of these programs were started during COVID, when we had to be creative and take a look at new ways of building our economic development ecosystem. Joining her is John Lynn, the co-founder of Quay Acceleration, a strategic partner in cultivating early-stage tech companies and getting founders through critical growth phases. They're here today to announce that applications are now open for the Element 46 Tech Accelerator. We're now entering our 11th cohort, which is great progress, you guys. This is terrific for the county. Element 46 has become a cornerstone program for early-stage technology companies in Westchester, offering mentorship, structured curriculum, investor access, and hands-on support designed to help founders refine their business models and accelerate growth. I'm going to turn it over to Deb and John to please tell us more and maybe highlight a few of our great success stories if you have them.
I do.
Good.
Thank you so much, Joan. Well, I think Joan's given a really good overview of what the program is. Applications are open now for our spring cohort. It's our 11th, and this Tech Acceleration Program has been running actually since 2019. We have over 100 Westchester-based tech founders who've completed the program already. In each cohort, we take 10 to 12 founders, and we run 2 cohorts each year. At the end of the program, we culminate with a demo day. You might think of it like a pitch event, where the founders share the details of what they're working on and why it's innovative, and how members of the audience can either invest in their business or be a supportive strategic partner in many other ways. And what we've discovered through running this program over these last, whatever it is, 6 or 8 years, is that we have a really rich and deep ecosystem, a large community of tech founders who are building their businesses here. Some of them are in a variety of sectors. They could be fintech, they could be ed tech, sports tech. We've had some founders who are doing work in food composting and other environmental and sustainability, climate tech kinds of things. Very exciting. I'm a big proponent of composting. I hope we get that curbside thing going. And so we're fortunate to have John Lynn and his great team, Ariella Shai and some others, leading the program for us. And we've got a deep network of mentors and subject matter experts who work with our cohort as they go through the program. And the reason we're telling you so much about it today is that applications are open. We have an info session for those who are interested next week, Tuesday the 24th at 4 p.m. It's a virtual session. You can find the details online at element46.org. The applications are also there at element46.org. Applications will close on March 4th. The program cohort will begin on March 18th. And if you have other questions, related things I haven't covered in this short set of remarks, you can send an email to info@element46.org. Joan asked me to mention about a few success stories. We've got 3 success stories very recently that I'll mention. 2 alumni companies, one called Adro and one called Augie, each had exits recently. They were acquired by larger companies that saw what they were doing as very innovative and useful. And those combined companies are moving forward, very exciting. And another alum recently raised some capital called Global Key. These are just 3 very minor examples of the successes that the alums of our program have had. And we're really excited about all the contributions they're making to Westchester County. So thank you so much for your listening. Thank you, Deputy County Executive and County Executive Jenkins, for supporting our work. Really thrilled to be able to continue this program.
Thank you.
Oh, John, don't sneak away. Come back in. From the Quay group and that does the work for us. So we'll give him a chance to say a few words.
I appreciate that, County Executive. Thank you. And really mean that thanks to the County Executive. This is a very unique program that you won't find in almost any other county or municipal organization in the country, but it's an incredibly important initiative to support entrepreneurship and to build off of some of the wins that Deborah has mentioned. These are significant business events in the life of an entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur that starts a business, at least in technology, wants to get acquired or get an IPO. And these founders from Westchester are doing that. Our program happens to be a great platform for it, but it's happening all over the county. And we're happy to be a part of showcasing those opportunities in Westchester. So we look forward to continuing to do that this spring. Thank you.
Thanks, John. And again, this has been something from a brainchild from Deb Novick. and the team for many years. And again, over 100 participants doing Element 46. It's been refined, and it's a well-oiled machine at this particular point in time. And it's really great. I mean, I get an opportunity to go out and see when they're doing their start, like when they're kicking off, and then when they do their pitch day, which is really the culmination of all the effort and energy that's been put in to be able to get them to a place where they're able to move forward. And again, it's focused on tech, and then it has different cohorts that are in it. But again, it is fantastic to see the work that continues. And every one of those things, from a dollar perspective, I think the number that we had before is for the dollar that we had invested, that there was at least 15 that came back, right, from that for us in Westchester, and that's fantastic. And some of these things started during the pandemic. We had Launch 1000 when we did Launch 1000 businesses, and Element 46 was there before that, and continues to work together. And again, you see so many things that you may not have seen. For me, seeing that we have a bunch of folks, especially in Westchester, that are looking around to help support those businesses as they're moving forward is fantastic. So you never know, because we had somebody from, I guess, from Dobbs Ferry that founded a small company that some of y'all use every day called Facebook, right? So we have those kind of things that happen, and you never know where that next one's coming from. So Deb, John, thank you so much. And from Joe McDonald, who has economic development and continues to lead economic development for the county, our deputy county executive is doing a fantastic job with that to make sure that we're moving forward. We also have other exciting news in the tech world. For Westchester County, our webpage is officially going to transition from the westchestergov.com. You saw that many years ago with Andy Spano, a little green logo. We've changed the logos, and we're moving forward as required. It's not something we're doing just because we have nothing else better to do, but it's the westchestercountyny.gov is going to be in place effective March 2nd. It actually is in place now if someone wanted to use it, but it'll be officially on March 2nd, reinforcing the county's commitment to transparency, security, and public trust. The previous web address will automatically redirect to the new .gov site to ensure a seamless experience for residents, businesses, and partners. Sometimes it's hard for us to look at things differently. I will call the Tappan Zee and the Triborough Bridge the Tappan Zee and the Triborough Bridge until I go away to some other place. But for those new folks, they know them with the new names that they have, whether it's the Mario M. Cobo Bridge or the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The Robert F. Kennedy Bridge, President one, just like not the junior. It's like the RFK Bridge. How about that, right? But it's about clarity, credibility, and public confidence. Understanding that the .gov, especially in the world that we live in right now, where there's so much spoofing, where people think you're a website and not. Those things with the official .gov have additional screening on them. In addition to you'll know that it's coming from the government and not somewhere else, and we continue to remind people of that. Marguerite Byrne, our Chief Information Officer, will continue to let everyone know the things that they shouldn't be clicking on. But going to that westchestercountyny.gov aligns us with the federal standards and strengthens trust in how we communicate with the public. And our goal is always simple: to make it easier for people to know that they're in the right place, they're talking to the right group of people, and moving forward to deal with. So the official website address is going to be westchestercountyny.gov. You don't have to use the capitals. I do, but you don't have to. All right. The previous address will redirect automatically, and you don't need to worry about it. There's nothing changing from what we're doing in the county. The county services and programs, the department pages and their content, online forms and resources, and how residents access services online, those are not changing, but it is absolutely a part of the broader modernization effort to make sure the county's digital presence reflects the best practices in government communications and cybersecurity. And you should be reminded that Westchester County was number one in its size last year by the National Association of Counties. So we were participating in national recognition from the National Association of Counties, and Westchester County, for our size, was number one. So again, we really appreciate all the work that our folks in IT do. Commissioner, our CIO, Marguerite Byrne, doing a fantastic job with her entire team. But it's up to all of you now to get used to that westchestercountyny.gov. With that, we're going to ask Joe McDonald to return and let us know everything that's happening in our park system, and we'll go up from there.
Thank you again, County Executive. A couple of things of note in the upcoming days. First of all, we have, in the next week, we have 2 Westchester Knicks games at the County Center. The first one is Thursday, February 19th at 7 o'clock p.m., the Knicks versus the Grand Rapids Gold. Saturday, February 21st at 3 o'clock, the Knicks will host the Cleveland Charge. So if you're interested in b-ball, head out to the County Center on one of those 2 days. This coming Saturday, February 21st, from 1 to 2:30, Croton Point's Forgotten Community will be hosted at Croton Point Park in Croton-on-Hudson. Every summer from 1926 until 1964, the Croton Point Park Association took up residence in their bungalow county at Croton Point Park. They had a baseball team, a community center, weekly dances, and a flourishing newspaper, until they were evicted. Enjoy a lecture with slides and archival media in the Nature Center to find out how this group lived, what life was like, and what happened after their houses were torn down. This is a free event, anybody that would like to discover this. Also, on Sunday, February 22nd, from 1 to 3, Hilltop Hanover Farm and Environmental Center will host a natural dyes workshop where you can learn the basics of creating natural dyes and help process wool. That's a cost of $8 a person. So go out and learn how to make natural dyes. Thank you very much, County Executive.
Thanks, Joan. Thanks, John. And that Joe McDonald, our Deputy County Executive, talking about some of the various activities that are happening in the nationally accredited and award-winning park system. Make sure that you download the official Westchester County Parks app as well by going to the aforementioned app stores. But pointing out both the Westchester Knicks, which is the G League or the instructional league, and you never know who's coming through. So, we have some folks that have made the big squad that are Knicks, in the New York Knicks, doing great work down there and having fun. But also you may see people rehabbing, coming back before they go back to the NBA level. So again, you never know what's going to happen and you never know what you're going to see. But the Westchester Knicks are outstanding. And on Saturday, I know they're celebrating and recognizing Black History Month. And they have some presentations that they'll be doing on Saturday at the Saturday game. So you never know when you see a county executive popping in, but not on the court. I lead the shooting of hoops to former President Barack Obama, who had a much better jump shot than I ever will have. Right. But we also have so many things happening. Again, as we are going through Black History Month, we have our program for Westchester County with the African American Advisory Board, with our Westchester County Board of Legislators and our team all together for February 27th at the County Center, and recognizing those individuals whose leadership, service, and impact are helping to build a more just, inclusive, and equitable future for our county. So I look forward to seeing you. You had to sign up for that at communications at westchestercountyny.gov. I heard something last night on the African American Advisory Board's meeting that it is almost, if it's totally sold out, the last time that I heard, and even at the county center, which we can hold a few people there. So again, I think if you are interested, make sure you email to let us know that you would like to come. Again, it is a free event. So this week we were able to start off and talk very, very excitedly with our folks from the Department of Environmental Facilities, talking about the waste reduction study that has been long awaited, right? We all get emails every week from a set of people that want us to release the report. The report's released, go click on it, right? But the leadership of Erica Lang Pierce and certainly Nancy Barr and the Board of Legislators with all of the team that started, and we have that information now. And you can see once again, which is really important from a validation perspective, again, to see that what we're doing in Westchester continues to be on the forefront and leaders as we go along. And every time we hear certain things from different communities that say you should do X and Y and Z, we're like, oh, we're doing it, we're doing this. But we always can do more. And partnering with our state legislators and when we can, our federal legislators, to be able to do different things in different communities. Again, whether that's food scrap recycling, curbside food scrap recycling, and continuing to go on and do that. We followed that up and talked with a good friend of ours from my sister's place, and the work that they're doing transformationally. Our Senior Director of Social Transformation, Kimberly McNair, Reverend McNair. We have both titles for her, although she doesn't usually wear that here in my sister's plate, but you never stop being the work that you do. And Kim McNair has been a fantastic advocate leader in the domestic violence prevention and awareness space. So we continue to say thank you to her and her team for doing those things in my sister's place. And the program for National Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, just in case anyone didn't realize, we've been supporting that program through our Youth Bureau since 2019. And our Youth Bureau led by Executive Director Ernest McFadden, another Ossining dude. Right? I know we have like lots of Ossining folks all over on the executive team. I don't know, Catherine Chaffee just says, we just keep bringing in, Ossining folks to do that. Then we followed that up with Joe McDonald leading the team, talking with Deb Novik, Director of Entrepreneurship, Innovation in the Office of Economic Development, and certainly John Lynn, who's the co-founder of Quay Acceleration, talking about so many great things that have happened with our Element 46 Tech Accelerator with over 100 participants and cohorts that people have gotten in there, and some of the examples of the successes of that particular program. So again, we want to say thank you to them. We had everyone that came through, thank Marvin Church and Sue for their work in Ossining, Ossining all over, right? The Ossining Green Team and environmental leaders of colors with another youth group that continues to do things with Comrie Enterprises and so many other things that happen. This week we had some tremendous losses that we had for us in our political world. I mean, I want to start first and talk about a person that was served in Congress for us here in Westchester County, Richard Ottinger, who had 2 different stints as congressperson, but he did so many different work. The Dean Emeritus and former Congressman whose decades of public service reflected that deep commitment to environmental protection, education, and principled leadership. His work both in Congress and in higher education helped shape policy, inspire students, and strengthen institutions. His legacy of integrity and civic responsibility will continue to resonate for generations. He was 97 years young, and when you think about all the things that he's done over his many different facets of his career and continuing to do that strong, all of our friends in the Sound Shore miss him, but we all miss him throughout Westchester County because, again, in those 2 different stints, he must have covered almost all of Westchester County in his 2 congressional runs that he had in service to us. Finally, that we also recognize the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson, and a person and a man who remains steadfast in his belief in building common ground. His call always to keep hope alive was more than a slogan. It was a moral directive. He demanded dignity and respect, and for those too often denied both. And he carried a progressive vision that pushed our nation to confront its conscience. And certainly during Black History Month, that we remind people Black history is American history, and American history is complicated. His life work challenged America to be better, braver, and more inclusive, and that legacy will endure for years to come. And because of the work of him, there were so many people, including me, that have this opportunity to stand in front of you today. So we extend our heartfelt condolences to all of the families, colleagues, and all those who were touched by their leadership and service. And again, we always want to recognize and remember all of those folks that came before us that set the path for where we are today. That's This Week in Westchester. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back to you with anything that, as it comes up, going down the path, including another petition.